Hi, my name is Bruce, the Blind Man Handyman on YouTube. I would like to say hello to the Lemay and Pelletier family and their children, Mia, Colin, Lauren, and Leo. 3 of them have a degenerative eye disease, and by the time they're become young adults, they're going to be visually impaired or blind. And I wanted to share with them, I've had to teach myself all these things. Like, I didn't teach myself how to use this lathe, the milling machine, table saw. I could use all this stuff before I went blind. I do mechanic work, I do welding, I do a whole bunch of variety of different things. But I've had to find out how to do these things and be creative blind. So I've made technical aids, and I found stuff that works for me, like this table saw. I have a great big stop onto it, which is good for everybody, but it's easy for me to hit. I've made stuff that's voice activated. I found things that work for me, like I have talking tape measures, which I don't know where it is, but somewhere I have talking tape measures. I have made changes to my machines so that they have cuts on them. I use different aids, like I know that this is 1 inch threaded rod by 8 threads, because those things are familiar to me. So these children are growing up, and they may be creative and want to know how to do some of this stuff. Like the person who made the first sewing machine, that person was blind, and they made a sewing machine, which I thought was pretty cool. And that's one of the first stories I read when I learned Braille. But so I always was fascinated that a blind person could do that. So I have all the kinds of ideas all the time. I like making things. So I have this lathe and milling machine, and I want to teach people who are creative, that are blind or visually impaired, to how to use these things safely. I've got 22 years now I've been using all this stuff. I have one boo-boo that I hurt myself, and that's because a knot and a piece of wood blew up on this table saw. But otherwise, I think I've been doing pretty good. I've wired up all this machinery. I've had a bit of help with it, but I pretty well put all this machinery in with a bit of help. My daughter helped me build the building out there. So I built this building out there, and I poured cement, and I worked on cars. This truck was written off, and I've rebuilt it and put it back on the road again. So there are all kinds of skills that you may have and may have interests in, but you might think it's not. It's above your abilities, but it all depends on how much time you want to put into something, and you just might have a natural aptitude for it. You don't always have to see. I know that I've read some stuff. If you work at a bench and you can't see, that you can actually be faster than someone sighted if all the pieces are in the right place for you. So it's a matter of making it safe for you, and that's the most important. Like the lathe and stuff like that, I think a person that's blind can operate. I can't use it to its full potential, but I could put you using a lathe and putting parts in, or like I'm at the creative design part of it, but if you wanted to run a lathe like a CNC machine, there's no reason a blind person couldn't run a CNC machine, because it's a matter of taking the parts out, putting the pieces in, and hitting start and making sure you're clear. Like I've worked in all this different things, and it's definitely possible. If you have dreams of wanting to do this, it's all possible. And if you ever are interested and you guys are traveling across Canada and you want to see how some of these things that I do blind, or if you have a tool or a machine or something like that and you think it can't be used by a blind man, I'm willing to take up the challenge to see if I can use it. I don't know if I'll be proficient as someone who could see with it, but I could do something with it, because like I create stuff, I weld things, but I tack weld it so I can get my ideas out there. So I make it out of wood, sometimes I make it out of steel, sometimes I have to use the wood and steel to make jigs, to make my ideas into tuition, and then I get someone else to help me weld it together later or do the rest of the work. But I do the preliminary part of it myself. And if you have a dream of working with your hands, well, you're gonna have to be used to these tools and know their dangers. And it's best for you to learn those dangers now while you can see. It's great for you to see the world, but you also need to see the world around you and see where the dangers are in the profession that you want to work in. So, like I said, if you want to use these kind of tools and stuff, you need to know how to use them safely. So it'd be great for your parents to show you this, because my family didn't really agree with me doing what I do, but this is what I did, and this is what I love. I did this before I had my accident, so if this is, you don't know what you're gonna fall in love with or who you're gonna fall in love with. You can't help that. But if you fall in love with something, it's pretty sad to know that in your heart that you can't do it. But I'm telling you now that if you put your mind to it, you can, right? So I try to do things like this. For one, not let me get me down, and I'm doing this YouTube channel to show other people and inspire them to do stuff and just get out and live, and also to show their family and friends, to help them that, well, their creativity and happiness. Like I got my kids, I wanted to build them little go-karts. That didn't happen, but we had little quads and stuff. I built a quad for them. We went out boating. We've done all kinds of stuff. I took them camping all by myself. You can do these things, and technology is changing every day. Just from Apple, and like my watch now, and it has a GPS on it. I can't wait till it gets a little bit better. I can learn how to use it. But I'm doing so many different things with this YouTube channel, and sometimes there's bumps and hurdles in the lives that just change things. But I keep getting back to it. I've been working on this channel now for about, like 5 years, and a friend has come into my life that's really helped me out with it, and we're hoping to get it off the ground, and then maybe I can help some other blind people or visually impaired people out there. And you never know what state you're in. You could see today, and you could have a tremendous accident. Or I've heard of people, just a lady, she bent down and bumped her head and she was blind. Other people have been in car accident. Somebody had medication that was given to them for their eyes, and they went drops that were in their eyes. They mixed two of them together and it burned out. They're blind for the rest of their life. So you'll never know who this. I could be talking to you right now, you say that never happened to me. Well, I had perfect eyesight before my accident, and I never thought this would ever happen to me either. You know, you see me working here, I wear safety glasses. Well, someday I might get a chance to see again. These eyes, there's nothing really wrong with them. It's the nerve going from my eyes to my brain is the problem, because the car accident hit me there. So yeah, I always have to live with that hope. So that's why I wear safety glasses. I mean, I don't want to hurt them any worse than if they've already been hurt. It'd be nice to use them again. So, well, good luck in your endeavors, and I hope the family and the kids had a good trip around the world and got to see lots of stuff. And hopefully they got to not only see, I hope they got to feel lots of things too, because you are going to be entering a different world. You see it, but feeling it, when you go blind, you need to recognize it. So not only do you see it, you're gonna have to go around feeling all this stuff, because you have there's two worlds you're going to be living in, a blind world and a seeing world. So if you don't go out and touch a bunch of stuff, you're going to be blind to it. Even though you've seen it, but you're going to touch stuff, it's like, oh, what the heck is that? Because you never touched it when you had a chance to. So make sure you go, just because you see it, go feel it too. It's important. It'll help you recognize things. So to the Lemay and Pelletier family, and other visually impaired blind people, I hope you guys find creative ways and to do what you love doing, and don't let being blind bum you down. Yes, it sucks, but there are wonderful things too. I had this accident, and I have bad days and I have good days, but I wouldn't change a thing, really, because it made me who I am today, and I don't think I'm that bad all the time. But I do my best, and I try to be happy. But life is a struggle, and we got to do the best we can, make the best of what we can with what we got. and just try to have fun doing it. Oh yeah, I got a blind man tri team. I went and did a triathlon when I was like 10 years ago. I can't remember exactly when. And I got to ride a bike for 20 kilometers, run for 5 kilometers, and swim for a kilometer, I think. And we did it tethered to another person. And there was a whole bunch of other blind people that did it. And they were raising money for cancer, and it was awesome. We went all the way to Ontario. And that was sort of a dream that I wanted to do, because when I had my accident, I was going to visit my dad like 3 days before my accident. 3 days after my accident, I was supposed to be in BC with my dad, and I was going to do a triathlon there in BC. So I did get to do a triathlon after all, but I just did it blind. So that was quite the experience that I didn't think that I'd ever get to do. So after doing that, that's one of the things. But after doing that, and then my car breaking when I was blind, and my family and my car broke, or our washing machine broke, or different things, a washer or dryer broke, and different things, and I forgot my friend's truck, his motor broke, and I was in a wheelchair then, and I helped him take the motor out of the truck, and my truck that had an accident, we took the motor out and we put that motor in his truck. So I just kept working with my hands, because that's what I know and that's what I like. So but thanks for tuning in, and we'll keep you appraised of what I'm up to. I got lots of projects. We're just in between a bunch of stuff. Thank you. I'm your handyman. Okay, thank you for tuning in, and best of wishes to the Pelletier and Lemay family, and all the other blind and visually impaired people, and all their helpers that help them out get things accomplished. Because without them, I wouldn't accomplish what I accomplished without having someone sighted to help me set some of this stuff up. And I do appreciate their help. Some people have devoted a lot of time into helping me get where I've gotten to. A lot of my own persistence and all that kind of stuff, but there has been a lot of volunteers that have helped me complete the tasks that I've started. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great day. See ya. Nice seeing you, or not seeing you.